Hey, what's going on? Welcome to episode 12 of FPL Hotline. I'm your host, Matt Tomo, joined as always by Taz, Gash, and C4. What's up, guys?
What's up?
How we doing? Taz, you say what's up in like the exact same voice, like everything the same week. You're like, what's up? Like every week. I love it. And then C4 never says anything. He's just like,
oh, I feel like I'm last. So you know what? He says, you know what, I'm good. Gash says he raises his glass or something. I'm like, what? I'm supposed to do both of those?
I don't know, something, man. But all right, let's talk about this past week, game week 7. Boom or bust. How'd you guys do? I did all right. I did all right. How about you? How about you, Taz?
I did all right, above average, but only went up one place in our mini league, so could have been better.
Mm-hmm. Gash?
Yeah, I did a little bit better than all right, I guess, because I was 12 points above the average. But I'm still 18th out of 20 in our mini league. But I was also pretty bad before this game week, so I wouldn't necessarily blame it on this game week alone. I've just not had the best season so far, I would say.
And C4, how about you?
I'm going to add a third B in there. I'm going to call this week a blackout because, you know what, by the end of the season, I'm not going to remember it. It just felt like status quo.
Yeah, I was right at the average. I think the average this week was 53. So yeah. What was it last week? Was it last week that was like 19 or something crazy?
Last week was an average of 48.
It was 2 weeks ago that it was mad low?
No, 48 was the low one.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we were
which is funny
Saturday,
because
really
game week 4 had an average of 48 also.
That is funny. You're right.
No. Game week 3.
Holy shit.
Game week 3 had an average of 43.
Oh, that's
great. Wow.
Good one, man.
Hey, yo, Gash.
Do you know what else is funnier?
Oh, what?
Gash is still in the relegation zone.
I'm glad you brought that up because I have the rest of you right where I want you. All right, I was in the relegation zone and I was in 18th place halfway through last season, and I finished in 4th. So really, it's you guys who have to be worried from the position I'm in because I have the experience to know what to do.
Of course, yeah. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of. Wait, let me check what place you're in. Oh, I gotta scroll to the second page here. Yeah, you're in 48th place. You're in 48th place of the FPL Hotline League. So
Hey, Tomo, do you remember last season when you left your team for like 10 weeks and didn't do anything, and you were in 4th, and then you started managing and dropped down the table? Because I remember that.
See, there's 2 ways to look at that. The way I look at it is that I set my team so perfectly that I didn't need to touch it for 10 weeks, and I still remained in 4th place. That's the way I look at it. And then, I started tinkering and I messed it up. But I forget that part, selective memory. It's a great thing. Ignorance is bliss.
I mean, if you had finished in the top 5, then all of the FPL Hotline members would have been in the top 5 in our mini league.
I know. I think I missed it by like 4 or 5 points on that last week.
Yeah, all I remember is dollars, and you got 0.
All right, let's I don't like where this is going, so I'm gonna change direction here a little bit. I want to talk about your hat, Gash. Nice pink hat. Looks cute.
Right. Let me read off my script. This is FPL Hotline, and we have merchandise to sell. So if you have extra money, or if you don't, please go to our website and purchase one of these excellent items. As you can see, it says FPL Hotline along the hat. And it's also a very nice pink color, and I like it a lot.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And it doesn't just come in pink; it comes in white and black and like this beigeish color, which sounds ugly, but it's not. It works. So yeah, we haven't like put those up on our official site yet. But if you guys think Gash looks cute, let us know, and maybe you can buy one for yourself. Yeah, nobody's gonna buy it now.
If you want, you can buy Gash for the night also. It's on our other website.
It's a little cheaper than the hat.
Yeah,
it's on clearance.
Actually, Gash pays you for the opportunity.
He just needs some company on Friday night.
All right, so we've had this little game week 7 ticker going for the last like 5 minutes, and we haven't mentioned too much. We went over our points, but who are some standouts to you? What teams were looking good? What players were looking good? Just some general thoughts.
I
Oh, C4. You want to just jump ahead of Taz? Okay, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I like jumping.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact: one of Canada's only gold Olympics, I think, in the 2014 Summer Olympics, was in trampoline jumping. So just putting that out there.
That's an Olympic
very
sport?
good at jumping. Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Wow,
Canada made it to the Olympics.
I don't really have like.
It must have been a big accomplishment.
Is he making another joke? I can't tell.
I'm serious. I thought Chelsea was the best team this game week. I think they probably put it together the best.
Unfortunately,
and
yeah.
I mean, I don't think any of us will debate that.
Yeah,
but of course, they ruined my game week with Christian Pulisic getting injured before.
Oh, dude, that sucked. Do we have any update on that?
Lampard, I think, just said weeks.
What? You broke up a little bit.
I think Lampard said it's not a question of months; it's a question of weeks.
That's still not great news. I was hoping it'd be a question of hours.
So I think I remember hearing something in the past day or two that it was pretty like Lampard said something like he was involved in training, but he won't be involved in the Champions League game, which they just played today. So he said that yesterday. So I think everyone's kind of speculating that he's going to miss this game this upcoming weekend, and then there's the international break. And he actually got named to the U.S. men's national team for the games over the international break. Mm-hmm. So it must not be too bad of an injury. So I think everyone's kind of expecting that right after the break he'll be back and firing on all cylinders.
Wait, so the U.S. national team roster came out after the injury, and he was still on it?
Yeah, it came. Yeah, right.
Okay. Good news. Good news. Still sucks because I just brought him in right before the game week, like 5 minutes before the deadline, and then, yeah. I would have been better off just leaving my team alone, like last year.
You could have done the smart move like me and brought in Rashford instead of Pulisic because he got 2 points this past game week. So
2 points against the mighty Arsenal. Nice 1-0.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
I was gonna put a nice graphic behind the score line, but someone's wrong with the green screen or whatever. I don't know. It wasn't working. But yeah.
What a terrible game as a neutral even. I mean, there was like an expected goal of like 0.6 total between both teams. Like it was, not including the penalty, but it was ridiculous. God, it was. I thought
it was a beautiful game. That's just peak football. Exactly what you expect.
Yeah, I mean, of course, as an Arsenal fan, you're probably more used to that than myself as a Man United fan, expecting beautiful play constantly. But I mean, I guess to each his own.
Yeah, I mean, El Neni had the game of his life, and so much so that a former Arsenal legend brought him into his FPL squad this week. Did you guys see that?
What, says Fabregas?
Yeah, it's awful.
His team is so bad. It's like he saw El Neni running around and was like, "That's it. I need that. I need that on my team."
You get 1,000th of a point for every step he takes, or something.
Did you see who he subbed El Neni in, or who he transferred El Neni in for?
I thought he wildcarded.
Oh, okay, yeah, but there was another questionable Arsenal choice in that spot before the wild card. He had Ceballos originally, which is
That's little just because he's Spanish, though.
Yeah, it's a little less confusing than than bringing in Mo, but yeah. So Cesc Fabregas, great player, but terrible at FPL. Terrible.
If you're Cesc Fabregas listening out there, you should listen to more of our episodes. I'll say that.
Yeah, hey Cesc, if you're listening.
and hey Cesc, if you're listening, I'm mad at you for throwing that pizza at Sir Alex Ferguson's face like back in the 2000s. All right.
All right, I'm sure he'll be tweeting at us his displeasure with this.
That might actually be a pretty good segment. Let's just dissect his team.
Should we just pull that out? Restart the episode. Let's bring up Cesc Fabregas' team. Rearrange all our.
Just shit on it.
It's bad. It was pretty bad. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I remember it there with like not too great fixtures coming up. El Neni. I think he had expensive keepers as well.
Yeah. Where did he post? All right, it was on the
FPL Twitter account. Tweeted it.
Okay.
Oh, Fantasy Premier League tweeted it.
I don't know, man.
What's that?
I don't know. He said fantasy FPL.
Oh. It went right over my head. I didn't even realize. I'm scrolling through. I'm like 2 days back. I don't see it.
While Tomo's scrolling, I can say that Boomer Bust, Jack Grealish definitely boomed for me over this past weekend. I'm really happy with bringing him into my team. I was actually looking just before this episode too, and he has over the past 4 game weeks, he's created the most big chances out of any player, in FPL. So I'm really happy, and I guess it depends on the players at the end of those chances. So on a better team, you might get a lot more finishing of those big chances. But Aston Villa's been playing pretty well so far, so I'm still really happy with that pickup. It seems like anything that they do almost always goes through him. So I'm pleased there.
They've got to be like the surprise of the season with how well they've been playing, right?
If they keep it up, at least for yeah.
And Everton, right. I found his team. So his goalkeepers are Alisson and Steer. So he went with the expensive. Oh, there, you got it up. All right, dope. So you got Alisson and Steer, goalkeeper. Defense, he has Lamptey, Diaz, Zuma, and Bernardo and Casey. So interesting. Zuma's a good pick though. Zuma's been scoring a lot.
Diaz,
Lamptey's a good pick. Diaz is an interesting pick. Not someone I would think.
City's fixtures turn pretty soon, so that's actually not too terrible.
Yeah, and then in the midfield we got Son, Salah, Abba, Elneny, and Riedewald. I don't think I've ever seen that name in FPL. He's a
4.4 mid right now.
Well, okay, he probably just needed a 4.4 to fill the spot. Yeah. Elneny took up too much of his.
Well, I think he built the team around Riedewald, in my opinion.
Dude, I don't mean to sound like I'm shitting on Elneny. Like that was a really dope performance this weekend. But why the fuck are you putting him in your FPL team?
Yeah, FPL's not equal to real life.
And then at striker, he's got at the forward positions, he's got Jimenez, Kane, and Bamford. I actually like that front three quite a bit. Although I'm not feeling awesome about Jimenez like moving forward these next few game weeks. He's got some tough fixtures, dude. Like if you look at between game weeks 8 and 16 coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them are like a fixture rating of 4, and then 1 is a fixture rating of 5. They got Leicester, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, United. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough run for them.
What do you think of his captain pick?
Yeah, I mean United's pretty easy, but
what do I think of Cesk's captain pick? The Alba, interesting. I wouldn't have.
Very interesting.
I wouldn't have done it. Wait, did this come out?
This is for the next game week.
For the next
one.
This
is right.
Then I don't know. I don't know what he would have seen in that performance from Alba to like really excite him. Obviously he had the goal on the penalty, but like
the penalty he finished it great.
Yeah, but I mean as long as he's playing like out on the left wing, I'm not feeling super great about Alba. I need him to play centrally. We need that. So yeah, what would you rate his team on a scale of 1 to 10, Gash?
I would say 6 because he was mainly a number 6 in his career. So
okay. Taz,
the team.
I
think I'll give it. Honestly, I mean, any pick is probably just for the budget, but the rest of his team is pretty solid. So I'll give it a 7.
Yeah. Maybe I was hating a little too much on the Elneny. It's not as bad as I thought. C4,
probably like a 5 out of 10.
Really? I'll give him like a 6.5. It's all right. It's not as bad as I thought. I mean, I'm not the biggest Cesc Fabregas fan. Yeah. So, what else did we finish talking about game week 7? Anybody have any final thoughts that they want to add? Like anything interesting you guys saw?
Yeah. Well, Leicester demolished Leeds 4-1, so that's kind of Leicester assets, kind of like especially Barnes and Tillmans were kind of like in the previous couple game weeks, now returning attacking points from either assists or goals, but Vardy continued scoring, so it's kind of I'm not sure about Leicester's run of fixtures, but it's something that kind of just keeping an eye out for. And Leeds finally their little miracle run came to an end, but I still think some of Leeds assets are still valuable and have offers.
Yeah, I definitely feel all right about Bamford still moving forward. And you mentioned Vardy. I just want to say he had 2 assists as well. So big haul for Vardy. I almost brought him in for Jimenez, but Good thing I went with Pulisic instead. Yeah, it was a great choice.
Leeds are like a funny team because they always, no matter who they play, they always try to play like a very attacking style of football. So either they're going to be like, I mean, you're going to have like a wide variety of results where either they're going to be very successful against certain teams, or it's going to be a tough game, or they're going to, like a Leicester game where they're going to get hit hard on the counterattack. I was very happy that, Dallas had that. If anyone's seen the highlights, Dallas's goal was like a cross that no one touched and just found its way to the back of the net. So I started him, and I was happy about that. And it's actually funny that Bamford blanked this week because the 3 big chances that he had were actually the most he's had in a single game this season. Yeah. And he blanked versus a hat trick last week and scoring in other weeks. So it's a very
super unlucky
thing of him.
Super unlucky. But I still feel good about him going forward. There was a lot of worry that Rodrigo would take over, but it seems to be Bamford's spot to lose for now.
Yeah, so the 2 things I would say is I wouldn't call him unlucky because if you looked at the highlights, he should have scored at least 1 or 2. And Rodrigo was also self-isolating with I don't know if he's confirmed to have COVID or he just I don't know if he tested positive once or if he tested positive multiple times, but he was isolating from the squad. But yeah, no, I do agree that Bielsa is a very loyal manager, and seems like it's Bamford's spot to lose.
And you mentioned how they just continue to attack and play their style. I think that's dope. We see so many teams come up and just struggle and throw 5 defenders back there and just really sit back and just pray to stay up. And it's cool to see somebody come up and have the balls to just play their style. I think it's dope. I hope it works out for them.
West Brom and Fulham are prime examples of not doing too well once they come right up.
Right, yeah. It's real cool to see. So I still feel okay about Leeds. Bad result for the weekend, but some of their assets are definitely worth having still. Looking here at the results, if there's anything else notable. Southampton 4-3 over Villa. That's a pretty crazy result. Got a lot
Jack Grealish had the garbage time goal and assist there too.
Love that.
Yeah, loved it.
Ward-Prowse as well. I saw some people were pretty excited about him with the 2 goals and the assist. Armstrong came back with an assist. And Che Adams with an assist. How do we feel about Che Adams now that Ings is going to be out? Was that one of our topics? Should I not bring that up yet?
I mean, I think it was a question in the group chat.
or is that a perfect transition?
You nailed it, man.
Nailed it. How do we feel about Che? I think personally, I'm a little worried because I have him. I like the way. I just don't. I don't feel too good about him without Ings. I like the way that they play off each other, and he seems to get more chances when Ings on the field with him. So it's a bit concerning. How long is Ings out? Do we get an update on that?
I think in the past day or two, Hasenhüttl, I might be butchering that name, but the Southampton coach said 4 to 6 weeks approximately.
Oh, that's bad. That's long term.
So the only good thing is that it's over the international break, so you kind of save some time there. But it's I mean,
that should only be 4 game weeks missed, maybe 4 or 5.
He's had problems in the past with his knees, so it could end up being longer. But it's kind of injuries at that length are kind of a crapshoot sometimes. I remember the beginning of the season where everyone kind of thought Ferguson would be back for Palace in the first 3 weeks or so, and it's it's hard to tell.
Especially like you mentioned, he's had the injuries before. Once, especially with the knees. Once the knees go and you hurt him once, it's just it seems like a never-ending bullshit, like a battle with your knees,
Yeah.
So the best of luck to Ings. If you're listening, Danny, hope you're all right.
Some people are considering Shane Long as a differential pick during this time because Southampton's still going to probably line up in a 2-striker formation. And during the time that Ings would be gone, they would play Newcastle home, Wolves, United, and then probably Brighton and Sheffield. So that's not a bad 5 fixtures to have a differential pick of a cheap 5.2 striker.
No, not at all. Not at all. But the thing is, I feel like that's only 0.6 away from Bamford. Would you really take him over Bamford? Because they're kind of in the same range there. Or I mean, I would definitely take him over some of the other strikers in that range,
Take him over Brewster?
Yeah, okay.
I was just thinking about Brewster too. I don't know.
But The thing is, though, like Gash kind of also mentioned that the Leeds are going to be playing their style of football constantly. It doesn't matter who they're going up against. But the next 5 games, they play Crystal Palace away, then they play Arsenal at home, Everton away, which should be like an Everton team that's fully back to health, and then Chelsea away, and a West Ham team. So it's kind of depends how you look at the fixtures. But I mean, I personally wouldn't consider it, but it's something that when I saw like, the idea being thrown around, then totally didn't.
Yeah, you didn't hate it.
It's interesting idea. I think it kind of depends on your team structure too. If you have the space for that, and you're the kind of player that's looking for that small differential to like climb up the ranks at this point in the season. Not like a massive risk because it's still mostly a fodder spot. But if you want to, I mean, it's a good consideration to have. If you want to throw him in there and see if old Shaney can boost your rank up.
Mm-hmm. Now let's compare him to Brewster though. Brewster at 4.5, save you some money and a guaranteed. Is he a guaranteed starter? Yeah, right.
He started the past 2 games.
Let's see. He played 26 minutes in game week 5, 53 minutes after that, and 90 minutes last week. So it looks like they were working his way up to starting, and we'll see if he goes the full 90 again. This week.
I kind of feel bad for him because Sheffield, he came like right at the time, or he's been like joining right at the time where Sheffield have really bad fixtures. Yeah. So it could be a case of like, he starts like 4 games in a row, but they're against really top teams and he has a tough time scoring, of course, and gets dropped for someone else. So it's kind of like a wait and see, but I think the main point is at 4.5, you're not really going to find anyone else who has that much of a chance at starting.
And the good thing is you're not going to find anyone else on Sheffield who has that much of a chance at scoring. Like if Sheffield's going to score a goal, it's probably going to be him. That's how I feel at this point.
Yeah,
I just jinxed it. Yeah, probably. Well, good thing I don't have him in my team, so all good with me. Let's see. Any other major crazy results to talk about?
The tune.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, man? Let's see. We got 2 goals from Wilson, and assists from Frazier. And on the other side, Calvert-Lewin scored yet again. And the boy, Alex Iwobi, got an assist. Don't think anybody has him, but just shout out Alex Iwobi. C4, how'd you feel about the win?
Well, good. But then, too, I feel like it's kind of going under the radar how, like, Wilson's kind of come back and, like, silently putting together a pretty good FPL season.
Dude, I liked Wilson. Remember, I was pretty high on him when they first brought him in.
Did you have him in your team?
I did, but I ultimately went with Bamford over him, for this period. But it was a tough call, and I don't know. I might end up being wrong. I really like what Wilson's doing.
Honestly, that was probably with the first 7 fixtures are harder for Newcastle than what's coming up. So if he could continue that form, so I'm probably going to play my wild card after the international break, and he's going to go into that team.
I don't blame you, dude.
6.5 striker right now.
I don't blame you. After the international break, he's got Chelsea, which is tough, but then Palace, Villa might be tough. West Brom, Leeds, Fulham, not awful. You can definitely see some goals coming in there, and especially.
But I'm just calling it now. Newcastle usually plays really well against Chelsea, so I wouldn't count them out there.
Those are back to the.
What are you calling? You said I'm calling. You're calling.
Fine. I'll say it right now. Newcastle is going to get a result against Chelsea.
Okay.
Well, like a loss?
Gash, for those of us who know soccer or football, we know that result refers to a draw or a win.
What is soccer football?
So I said soccer or football.
You're talking like the result that United got against Newcastle a few weeks ago, with one of the only things I've been happy about this season. So I remember that
one. You know your United season's going bad when the highlight of your season is a win against Newcastle.
No, the highlight was a 5-0 win against Leipzig.
I like how you said the highlight was. Like, there's nothing going to top that the rest of the year. It's done.
No. I think so. The only thing I'd bring up at this point is I think Colin Wilson could be a very attractive option. If anyone's looking to jump off the DCL train, some people might have had him since he was like 7.0 or 7.2 or something, and they want to make the profit. I think Colin Wilson's a very viable striker to downgrade to. I'm not going to jinx myself or anything, and free up the extra 1.5 about in funds to upgrade somewhere else. A lot of people might be looking to bring in City midfielders at this time with their kind of fixtures turning. I think after this upcoming game week.
Yes.
So if you want to fit a Sterling or a De Bruyne into your team, then it might be a good move to downgrade maybe a DCL to Colin Wilson and then use those funds in midfield.
It's actually it's 2 more weeks until City's fixtures clear up a little bit. They got Liverpool this week and then Spurs after the break. I don't think that Spurs game is going to be easy. But after that,
I think right
after that it clears up. After that it definitely clears up, and they
Doesn't
got
it go like Burnley, Fulham back to back?
Burnley, Fulham, then United, West Brom, Southampton, Newcastle, Everton. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. So definitely some time to get your City assets back in, but you still have some time to do that. And you mentioned downgrading from DCL to Wilson. I like that. That would right now there's a 1.2 mil difference in their price, so that's definitely considerable to upgrade somewhere else. And just let's talk about Everton's fixtures a little bit, because why would you downgrade from DCL? This week they got United. Then after the break, they come back to Fulham, Leeds, Burnley, which is really attractive. So if you're thinking of downgrading, it might be tough to lose DCL for those games. But then after that, they got Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal, City, Sheffield. So it gets harder. But I don't know. I don't know if I would be ready to. I don't have DCL, so maybe I can't speak. But like, if I did, I would be a little weary of doing it right away. Maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks. Anything else? What C4? You got the topics written down this time. What's next? What are we talking about here?
I mean, we're kind of already getting into it, but what's your transfer plan for this week?
Oh,
yeah, I can take this first, so you guys have time to think. My plan. I've been watching the transfer market all week, and I want to go Robertson to Chilwell this week. I watched them midweek, and I think this could be my United fan bias speaking, but I think Liverpool were lucky to not concede against Atalanta. I mean, they deserve to win the game, but I think they were lucky to, what I said, to not concede any goals. And I'm kind of worried that Chilwell could be performing at the level of or very close to Robertson, and then I'm just pretty much wasting that extra, a little bit more than $1 million at this point. I think Chilwell's 5.9 and Robertson 7.1. So I want to downgrade that. But then for me, just to sidetrack for a second, for me personally, the only consideration is who do I bring in goal, because Matt Ryan apparently isn't a guaranteed starter now. So I was looking at Mendy, and then I was looking at Leno essentially, but I really don't want to bring in a 5.0 and whatever. So anyway,
it sucks to use a transfer on a goalie. I'm looking at that now too with Ryan. It sucks.
I know. So anyway, yeah. So I'm looking at Robertson to Chilwell probably for this week, and then the extra.
Did you already get rid of Trent on your wild card?
Yeah, my wild card.
So you're looking at having no more Liverpool defenders. That's it. Because last week I did Trent to Chilwell, and I'm happy with that. I like what I've seen from Chilwell, and I'm still considering getting Robertson out as well. Except he's looked good enough to kind of keep him around, but the clean sheets, you're right. The clean sheets are just not going to happen.
The only thing is, I really want Chilwell in right for the clean sheets, and I think he has at least comparable attacking returns, and I could really use that extra money in midfield right now to upgrade potentially Son to De Bruyne if I can find the money. I mean, I really don't want to get rid of Son, but if that's what I have to do to get De Bruyne into my team for the City fixture turn, then I think I'm going to do it. Even though I think Son is the most owned player in FPL right now, but I'm I'm in 18th place. It can only get 2 places more in our mini league, so I'm trying to just go up instead of down.
Let's see. Is Son the most owned player? Yes, 59.5%. Wow, and I'm not one of them. I'm proud of that. I almost brought him in. But wait, one more thing about Chilwell. He is on corners right now too, so that's exciting. But some people think that once Ziyech gets more comfortable, then he'll eventually take those over.
Who took the corner that Zuma scored off of?
Last game week in the Premier League?
Yeah.
I would guess.
It wasn't Chilwell.
No, because he didn't have an assist.
Oh.
It might have.
I want to say it was Mount or...
Did Zuma score direct from the corner?
Yeah, I was going to say it might have.
I don't know. It might have I didn't see the goal.
I still had Robertson, so I didn't get the place.
All I know is
it might have been Mount or Ziyech.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ziyech.
But like what I read did say that Ziyech would take them over soon. So makes sense. Gash, were you saying something? You kind of cut out.
Yeah, no, I said it was probably Mount because Frank probably jerked him off the locker room afterwards.
Frank loves that kid, dude. I don't know why. I've been playing career mode like nonstop, and I'm in like 2023 now, and Mason Mount is an 89 overall and one of the best players in the world. So
yeah, I mean, obviously,
somewhere Frank Lampard is happy. Yeah. Okay, so transfer plan. Taz, what are you doing?
So I already got rid of Robertson last game week, so carried over 2 free transfers for this week. I'm happy with Chilwell that I brought him in, and now kind of have like this problem with the other Chelsea asset that I have in Pulisic, where do I keep him while he's injured, or do I transfer him out? And I'm kind of debating, like right now I have the funds to transfer him up to Rashford, which is something that I'm considering doing and most likely will do. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, playing around and seeing how can, like, I have Kane and Son right now, and the fixtures do take a turn for the worse in the game week. So I'm like, do I want to keep both of them over that course of time, or do I want to downgrade one? I kind of really like Martial just came back for United, and they went back to playing the 4-2-3-1 with him up top. So he's kind of take the striker spot away from Rashford. He scored in their loss to Istanbul in the Champions League. So it's kind of like that's somebody I'm considering. But then at the same time, I don't really want to get rid of Kane. So then I'm kind of playing around, seeing how, like, same thing with like Gav mentioned, how can I maybe downgrade Son, or change Son and like Pulisic, get KDB, and see who else I can get. So that's something I'm playing around with. But I think right now my priority list is to deal with Pulisic, and then after that maybe look into Stace, who was benched last game week.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat as you are with Pulisic. I was also looking at Rashford. I have enough in the bank where I can do Pulisic directly to Son or Rashford, so I can go either way with that. I don't have a Spurs asset right now, so maybe it does make sense to get Son. And as far as you debating whether to have 2 Spurs assets, I don't know. How do the rest of us feel about that? I'm somebody who likes to split up the risk, and especially as fixtures get a little tougher, I wouldn't want to have 2 players from the same team. Usually, that's just C4. You agree? You wouldn't want to have both.
And I want to call you and Gash out on this. Like, I think it's mad that you guys actually plan on keeping Son and Kane after this game week. Like, I've had Kane since before game week 1. This is the last week in my team until I was looking at the fixtures. Like, they're shit, I think, up until like 9, 10, 11, 12 is okay, 13 shit, 14 shit, 15 shit. Like, game week 16, that's the earliest I would bring them back in.
They're not.
And like, I don't get this argument
after this week.
Son's at like 60% ownership. I have to keep him in my team. Like, this is the exact moment you sell him, because price rises just going to go down and cash out. Like, I don't get this whole keep them in my team. And like, Tomo, for you, and Tomo, like, for you, I don't know why you would even consider bringing a Spurs player. If you don't have one right now, just like stop. That's it. You missed out on the ride. 1 week isn't worth it to bring him in and take him out right away. Okay, you can talk now. Yeah, my
rebuke against your brutal assault, full of vitriol.
Well, so far that brutal assault convinced me. I'm not bringing in Son as of right now. That was good, C4. You got it.
I don't know. You said that I was planning on keeping Kane and Son.
I said like whatever combination. Okay.
No, Son. If anything, Son is the one I want to get rid of over this tough run. I think Harry Kane's underlying stats, his expected goals, expected assists, he's creating a lot, as like, even when he's not scoring the goals, he's still creating them for other players. So I could see very much over this run of which, by the way, against tough teams, which Mourinho usually loves because he plays his typical counter-attacking style. So I could see Son creating a bunch of goals for I could see Kane creating goals for Son or for Lucas Moura or for whoever's maybe Gareth Bale, the wingers flying past him. So what I want to do is keep Harry Kane over this period, because either he's on the penalties or he's scoring the goals from open play, or if he's not, there's a very high chance that he's creating the goals for Son or Gareth Bale or whoever. Mm-hmm. So I think my plan personally is to keep Harry Kane, get the money to upgrade Son to a KDB, and at worst case, I can downgrade Kane to someone like Jamie Vardy if he continues his form. Where I mean, like FPL players over the past couple of seasons know that if Jamie Vardy hits form, he's normally good for like a 5 or 10 game span.
And then, or 15 or last year, 15
I know.
or 20 or
15, 20,
yeah,
captain or something. But anyway, like that's a consideration. But I would much rather my plan as of this moment is to move on Son to get De Bruyne in and keep Kane in my team until I see for a fact that he is not performing, because I already have I think a 0.2 raise on him, so I've already made profit. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on the prices and wait to sell. But I want to sell Son and keep Kane in my team.
I like the reasoning with that, because Kane does really seem to be dropping back more and distributing a bit more to the wingers, and we got to expect Gareth Bale to start doing more sometime soon, right? I mean,
Kane's 11.0 as of maybe yesterday, and I got him at 10.5. So I'm gonna keep that until I really have to sell.
You broke up for me. What did you say? You said he's at 11.0 now, and you bought him at 10.5.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's 11.0 now. I somehow got him at 10.5, even though I was on the Kane train pretty late. So I'm gonna even if he drops to 10.9, I still have the same price rise there.
Right. Yeah, those fixtures are brutal, but like it's like I said, if you're gonna take a punt on a top 6 team, might as well pick one of the best strikers in the world and in good form, and with that counterattacking style that they might have to use in some of those games. It makes sense. That's cool. That's valid. I don't have Kane, so I can't take anything personally from that. But that was a good argument. Well done.
Come on, Jose Mourinho counterattack. It's gotta happen,
dude. I just want to say, if anybody's listening and you don't follow Jose Mourinho on Instagram yet, please, it's the funniest thing, dude. I still go back and look at that photo from last week of him sitting on the bus, like all upset, and he's like, I hope everyone on this bus is sad as I am, training at 11. Like, I've never seen a manager post anything like that, like just be so publicly upset at his team, and like, it's great.
Can you imagine being on the team bus and just refreshing your phone?
Right? Like you pull that up.
I've practiced tomorrow morning.
A few seats back.
I remember
the way he looked and everything. Oh, I love that photo so much.
I remember when he was at Real Madrid. Like one of my favorite moments of him, before he was even ever United manager, is I think they were playing Barcelona, and it's just like this clip of him, like the coach has got to a little scruffle on the sideline, and he runs up to a Barcelona coach and just he grabs his ear and just yanks it. And you see the replay, and you see him like walking in the back, and just goes. And pulls up. I was like, oh my god!
He's a crazy dude. Dude, I'm gonna make that my background. I think. Bad performances deserve bad results. Hope everyone in this bus is as upset as I am tomorrow, 11 a.m. training. I love it. So maybe he can inspire them to do something throughout this tough run. But who knows? It is a pretty tough run. But Bale's got to start doing something soon, right? I'm not talking about bringing him in, but yeah. But I mean, in terms of playing more consistently, because he's only played 38 minutes in the Premier League since he arrived. So it's a little concerning as of right now.
I think is he still 9.5? He didn't fall or anything.
He's still 9.5. Yeah, he's only got 1% ownership.
For 9.5, I would expect a lot more from an FPL asset, regardless of the nostalgia or anything of him coming back to Tottenham.
Yeah, that makes sense. Who do you like more in that range? I guess Martial, Rashford.
Son might be 9.6 now.
He's 9.6. He's 9.6. But the fact that they're that close and their results aren't that close, that's.
Son also started the season in 9.0, so there was a pretty high chance that you jumped on to him before he hit Bale's price.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I didn't, but a lot of people did. Anything else? Did I not throw this question to one of you? Did one of you not get your chance yet?
I did not get my chance yet. I think my Kane rant went over it.
I'm lost today. My bad.
It's okay. We all are.
Yeah.
I mentioned it a little earlier, but I'm going to be playing my wild card during the international break. So with my one free transfer this week, I'm just going to be taking a punt on someone. And based on originally my plan wasn't to play the wild card, but had a pretty subpar week, I think. Well, average. I expect better, though. So I basically have the money to bring in any player in the game this week. And when I look at the fixtures this week, the ones I think where the best potential are Chelsea, Sheffield, Spurs, West Brom, and Arsenal, Villa. I have Kane. Chelsea, I'm a little scared of just because of like Werner played midweek, Ziyech played midweek. Like Sheffield at home is a team you could easily rotate against. So I think that I'm going to be taking out my injured Pulisic and bringing Aubameyang in for this game week.
I like it. Except I would be more, I don't know, with the way Villa have been looking, and I think Arsenal have been looking pretty good as well. But as long as Aubameyang's on the wing, I'm just not feeling it in FPL terms. I know he did well on the wing last season, and we all had him, but it just looks different this year. It's just not working the same for whatever reason.
This is anecdotal, but Aubameyang is that guy who will just all of a sudden go off. Like there won't be signs of him improving his form. It'll just be 1 week. It's like, oh shit, that's Aubameyang's return.
That's true. That is true. I don't know. So are you definitely doing that? The Pulisic to Alba just for 1 week?
Yeah.
Is that confirmed? I like it. I mean, would you?
Do you want me to make the transfer right now?
No. I'm just saying. Was there anybody else?
I do. I want to.
In case you guys haven't figured it out, Yash is the only non-sober member of the FPL hotline today.
I'm sober.
Sponsored by Wild
I
Turkey.
said non-sober.
Wait, is there anybody else though that you're considering in like that Alba rate? You wouldn't rather go to like Bruno, De Bruyne? No, those are
not for a 1 week punt.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my 1 week punt, if you look at all the fixtures, okay, like the first one that jumps off the page, like I said, was Chelsea Sheffield. I gave a reason for why I don't want to bring in Chelsea assets. Then you have Spurs West Brom. I have Kane, and then Arsenal Villa. I would bring in Aubameyang there. I mean, I guess you can make the argument just bring in Son.
That's the argument I think I want to make. Yeah, that is the more attractive matchup.
So my only logic would be with that is because, okay, say the international break, something weird happens, and you know what, my team's in good shape and I don't need to use the wild card. Just for whatever reason, I decide I don't need to. I'd rather have Aubameyang coming out of the international break than Son.
Okay.
Can I wait?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tomo.
No, I just feel like you should just know if you're taking the wild card or not. Because if you are, then Alba makes sense. But if you are taking the wild card, then Son makes more sense. But if you're considering keeping your wild card, then Alba makes more sense.
So they're both equally good sense. And if you look at the scoring odds this week, Aubameyang is the top per 90 minutes. I think he's at 54% to score according to the bookies.
Really?
I'm just saying, if something crazy happens and I don't end up playing my wild card, because who knows how this game week goes, my team could be back on all cylinders and I'll be like, okay, I'll hold.
Right.
Then,
I mean, Alba's fixtures going forward are not that bad. I just want to list the fixtures real quick. I mean, it's Leeds, Wolves is tough. Spurs is tough, but that's a derby, so anything can happen. That could always be a crazy high-scoring result. You know how those go. And then it's Burnley, Southampton. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you had Alba for that stretch, it's not the worst thing in the world. So I see where you're coming from. Sorry, Gash.
The one thing I would say is if you're planning on – I mean, what are we? We're hitting game week 8 now or something. So I guess you still have time to play the wild card because it's till game week 16. But if you're thinking of playing it soon, then – by bringing in, like, if you're not going to captain Son, it's kind of a pointless player to bring in. I think his returns are just like so tightly linked to Kane's returns that if you have Kane, you're going to captain Kane. Then by bringing in Son, like, yeah, you might, if Spurs score 5-6 goals, who the hell do they do that against? Maybe Man United or something. But anyway, if they score that many goals, you're probably like covered enough by Kane because some people, a decent number of people have, but not like a crazy majority have Kane and Son. So I think you're covered enough there. So if you want to really go for the differential and bring in Aubameyang, then to kind of go for the throat rather than to play defensive, I think that's a pretty solid move.
But then we get into the debate of how much do differentials really matter, and should you be chasing differentials this early in the season, or should you just go for your best odds? Because
if you're a mad lad, then you chase the differentials. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I enjoy chasing a differential or two, but apparently I'm much better at it in the second half of the season than the first. So
I don't even really start thinking about differentials that heavily until closer to the end, and maybe that's why I finished outside the top 5 last year. But
you gotta. I personally always, if there's ever a week where I have a player like a differential player that scores like 10 plus, I always want to just have that over everyone's heads, be like, hey, you idiots, guess who I brought in?
there is definitely that bragging part of it, and that feeling of finding a diamond in the rough. It's always a cool thing. Like I was pretty happy to see Bamford go off the other week with the hat trick. Like that was exciting. Not even though he has a little bit higher ownership, I wouldn't exactly go on the differential, but I see what you mean. It's a good feeling. It's something to chase.
Something that just came to my mind when I plugged that is myself, C4, and one of our other friends, Sid, who you might remember from that one episode, is the moron who got that thing wrong.
From that disaster Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, no, the awful episode.
We didn't make that a real episode. That was just the YouTube clip for Magnus.
So if
it
you're
was
lucky
so
enough
bad, it didn't make
if you're lucky enough to have missed that, then count yourself as a very fortunate individual. But anyway, we have a bet going that whichever one of us 3 finishes the highest, they get to pick an outfit for the other 2 on like a big a party weekend. So hopefully COVID is over soonish. And we can do it, but it'd be a very stupid outfit, and we will. The reason why that just came to my mind was just talking about differentials and stuff. So I just want to send the promise out now that we will post those outfits once they come out, and show them to all of you on social media.
Yeah.
So
do you already know your outfit?
Missing out. What I would pick, or what you're saying you're going to pick for me?
Do you know? You don't have to tell me what it is, but do you know what you would pick for me and Sid?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably like a ketchup costume or something. Yeah, no one really laughed at that, so I would have picked that.
I'm gonna change it.
But wait, so one of you.
It's gotta be a mustard costume then.
Yeah. One of you picks the outfits for the other 2. Yeah. Right.
The highest of the 3 picks the outfit for the other, and so we set like a dollar limit, like $50 or something. So like the lower people have to pay for the outfits up to $50, pretty much.
Is it
whatever the number was?
Are costumes allowed, or does it have to be like regular clothes?
The only stipulation was it can't be anything that would get you thrown out of somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no certain uniforms, nothing like that.
Nothing
costume.
Yeah,
nothing racist, nothing too revealing. Yeah. But as long as it's in good taste at least, and still stupid and funny to wear, I'm totally in.
Would a bikini be in good taste? I think it'd be funny to see C4 in a bikini. That could be cool. I mean, that'd be funny.
As long as it's not the high-waisted ones, I have a couple of those at home already, so I don't want any more of those. But
all right, yeah, we're getting way off track.
That was a little sus there, Tomo.
Yeah, sorry, I derailed that. That's my bad.
What do you mean that's sus? That's a compliment, man. I want to see you in a bikini.
Yeah, that's a sus.
All right, yeah, we definitely got to move on after that.
What's you ready for my fun question?
Yeah, I just want to introduce this. The C4 posted this to the group, and I loved it. I hope you come up with more shit like this. So C4, take it away. Introduce your segment
for this week. We're going to call it C4's Corner. How many points would you pay for an additional wildcard / FPL chip? And when I mean / FPL chip, any of them.
Like any of the ones that already exist. How many points would you give up to get one of them?
Are you saying that like a maximum or a minimum number? Like if you pay at least 12?
Just give me a price that you would.
So we'll give you a price in points to pay, and we'll tell you what chip we would think we'd get with that.
Yeah, you just name. Okay, you want. Okay, for me personally, I'll go. Okay, for a wild card, I'd probably pay 20 points for it. For a bench boost, at most 10.
That's too much for me.
Free hit, That one honestly depends on the week, but that one might be like 10, 15 in that range. And triple captain, probably 10.
So 10.
No, I wouldn't even pay 10 for triple captain.
Yeah, I don't know. I would pay.
So wild card, definitely 20. I feel like that's the max.
Well, if you subbed everybody out and took all the hits, what would it be? It would be minus 32. Right?
So my logic
60.
is that you're only buying the wild card. The additional one is if you're taking out like more than 5 players, so it actually becomes worth it for you to buy it.
So you never have a minus 60 on the wild card though, because you always get one free transfer a week. So
yeah,
you get minus 56 max, you idiot.
Okay. Yeah, you know me and math don't get along.
It's not like it's in your name or anything.
Oh shit, you're right. Never realized.
Mathomo.
Mathomo. Let's see. I would pay like 5 for a bench boost because I fucking hate the bench boost anyway. I already used mine this year. Just I didn't want it. That's why I used it. Yeah. I would pay 20. I would consider paying. No, I would pay 20 for a wild card. That's valid. Captain like 5, 4. I don't know. Not too high on that one, but free hit, I would go like 15. You know, if I, just like 5 below whatever wild card is for free hit. So like 15 for free hit, 20 for wild card. I like the free hit. Comes in handy for those like double game weeks that we always get around like the late 20s, 30s, like around that part of the season. Love the free hit. Gash, you got some?
Oh, I do have some.
I don't know why I didn't finish that sentence. You got
I would
some?
say that's some. The bench boost is difficult because you always need some kind of money on your bench to play. But I think it's most viable this season with the COVID restrictions. You kind of always want the more bench players playing in case your assumed starters have COVID or some kind of unpredictable injury. So for this season specifically, I would say I'd probably pay, I don't know, 8 points for an extra bench boost. I would probably do 8 also for a triple captain because it's it's kind of like an average thing because it's very hit or miss. Just never triple captain anyone whose name ends in ANE because it's always pretty much guaranteed to go wrong.
You wouldn't triple captain Harry Kane?
No. There was Sane, there was Mane. One season there was Shane Duffy on Brighton, the center back.
Dude, the Sane one. The Sane one was the funniest to me. I remember people were so upset at that one because it was a double game week.
The Sane one was the only one of those I actually bit on
you fell for it? Yeah.
Yeah, I fell for it hard.
Didn't he only play like 80 minutes combined in the 2 games or something? Like he didn't. He got subbed off in the first before 60, and he didn't start the second either. Yeah. It's like, are you serious? What was it? Was it 2 points? So was it 6?
Yeah, captain. No, he got 3 points. I think
3. So it's 9.
Yeah.
Dude, people were so upset at that. I never fall for those big hype trains. It's just it's too good to be true sometimes. When people start talking on the subreddit, it becomes a real circle jerk. Everybody's like, yo, it's going to be great this week. Sane, triple captain, let's go. And then it just nothing.
It's awful. But no, yeah, that did not make any. So that was the one I actually got suckered by. I forget where I was going, but I think I had wild card left. And for a wild card, I'd pay, I don't know, probably minus 20. Because I like to think of if I bank up 2 free transfers and then 5 hits, so 7 changes in 1 week with the 2 frees is minus 20. So I think that would be the point at which I'd enjoy, as long as I could play the wild card at any point during the season, I would pay the minus 20 for it because I think it'd be useful to have 3 to spread out rather than just the 2. And then I think I hit bench boost, I hit triple captain, free hit. And then the free hit, I don't know. I guess it's useful for the double game weeks and the blank game weeks later in the season once they happen. So I'd probably give it like a -12 or something. Assuming I nail the captain and for a double game week or something, it'd be pretty easy to make up those points.
Yeah, assuming you didn't pick Sane or something like that. Yeah, well, you can't pick him anymore because he plays for Bayern. But yeah,
differential.
Big differential. Yeah, 0% ownership, and he's a great player. It's amazing.
No one knows about him.
Plays for one of the best teams in the world. He's awesome. Taz, how about you, bro?
I see. For me, I was looking at it from a standpoint of how much would I get benefited from having that extra chip, and I'm kind of, I don't, if FPL did have this and as an actual thing, I don't think the prices would be as cheap as how much we would pay for it. I think it'd be way more expensive, but I kind of with the bench boost 8 points, because I feel like that's kind of the borderline if you do buy it and all your let's say all your bench players in your bench actually start, but all they return is 2 points. That's 8 points. That kind of makes it clear. Maybe I'll consider 10 on the little 2-point risk, but at the same time, it's you need multiple players to return in order to benefit. So I don't think I would buy any of these really. Even then, going on to the triple captain, same thing. Around the 10-point mark is maybe I'll consider buying it if it was something a very enticing triple captain opportunity that was okay, I'm gonna make up way more points than I expect to lose with a 10. And then for free hit, probably 10 also. I just think it does come in useful. So actually, for free hit, maybe I'll do a little bit more, 15, because you could sometimes load up on if Man City and they're both playing pretty shit teams, you can load up on 3 players from each team. So that kind of bring it back up. So up 15. And for wildcard, I think I would pay 20, but at the same time, I feel even if your team is in terrible shambles, 20-point hit sometimes is a lot in our FPL leagues, especially for our mini league. A lot of times, the difference between some of the places at the end of the season is under 10 points. So that's kind of those free hits. Those free hits over the course of a season, take up, kind of hurt you in your mini league in the long run. But if you're just playing to see how your world net rankings are, I think 20, even 25 points for a wild card is something you would pay for. I think that'd be fair.
I think what would end up happening though is, and I think Tomo kind of touched on this with Reddit creating trains, is that eventually FPL communities would start creating trains for game week 14, it's really good fixtures for everyone. I'm going to buy a free hit so I could get Liverpool against Norwich, Man City against Huddersfield, so that everyone would end up doing it.
Happen.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah. It'd be a lot of hype over. It'd be something else to.
I would say
be excited for.
The one thing is
I like the risk. I like the risk of it too. There's not really that much risk associated with the chips usual because you're not losing anything, but you're just not gaining. But this is a real bet, It's it's intense.
I personally think my perception might be skewed because I use the bench boost so I use the transfers we got over the COVID break last year, and then I used the bench boost right into game week 30 plus or whatever it was, right coming out of the break. And I hit 113 points or something like that. So I was flying at that point. I was really excited about all my chips and stuff. So I was like, yeah, let's go. Woo! So I might just be skewed a little high by the excitement of using all of those last season too.
Yeah, that's when your comeback started, right? After the restart?
Oh, it started in game week 1. We were all on the
well, technically, because that's when you started going down, right? Yeah.
No, yeah, I think yeah, right. I think game week 30, I was 12th place or something.
Yeah. So Steve Four is going to try to come up with one of these every week.
Not to toot my own horn, but listen to me in the second half of the season.
So Steve Four, you're going to try to come up with one of these every week. I think you already put one into our group chat the other day. I don't know. I remember there was another cool discussion we had that we should save. We'll talk about that. So yeah, that'll be cool. Last bit is the captains. One last week of Son Kane, or is it Chelsea time, or is it something completely different? Taz, who are you taking this week?
I think I'm gonna just keep it on Kane for this one last game week before I consider him transferring him out. I think it was against the so I think I'm gonna just keep it. I captain Kane last game week and made return. I was happy with it, even though Salah, who was my vice captain, returned more points. I think I'm gonna just keep it on Kane for this game week also.
Gash.
Yeah, I'm also going Kane this game week. They have West Brom this week, and I'm really excited about Kane's chances. I mean, if you think about the big picture, Fulham just beat West Brom 2-0, and Fulham are shit. So West Brom are like super duper shit at this point. So I'm really backing Kane to hopefully. I hope Son's about to score. And I have Son on my team. I hope Son's about to score and gets hacked down like 3 times. So Kane gets a hat trick of penalties, and I would absolutely love that because I really think Kane is going to be at his best in terms of scoring, being in the right spot to finish off chances, and also creating everything for the team. So I'm going Kane this game week.
And C4?
Just before that, Gash, and I guess Taz, do you guys put anything into the fact that apparently Son is the better option FPL-wise to have away, and Kane's the better home option based on their production?
No, I think it's a small sample, so it doesn't really make a difference.
I also think home and away doesn't make a difference in the COVID world with fans, and like you don't have any. There's really no difference now. I mean, maybe it's a little more comfortable for you to be playing and be sitting in your own locker room, but there's really no outer effect. I don't think. And I think we were seeing that is like I was listening to this Arsenal podcast the other day, and I don't remember the exact stat, but they said that like the home team advantage has been like totally wiped out due to COVID. They said it's like they're statistically like the home team would have a higher chance to win typically, and now it's almost 50-50. Like it's really evened itself out to the point where it just doesn't matter. Again, another time where I like heard a cool stat and just didn't bring the stat to the episode, so I just end up telling you guys that I heard a cool stat and it's just fucking worthless. So next time I hear a cool stat, I gotta like screenshot it and remember it.
I think it's still too small of a sample size to say for sure. So I think it might just be like kind of deviation at this point. But I do think there's a small advantage at least playing on your home field. Some of the pitches are slightly different sizes, and you kind of feel more at home playing there.
Right, the locker room, you go in your locker.
Yeah,
yeah. Probably don't have to travel. You don't have to wake up earlier to maybe.
I mean, even when you're on the field, like you kind of know that the space is a lot better. But I still think it's definitely diminished. So there's still like a little bit of a home field advantage, but it's not as much as before.
Yes, and
my actual captain pick. I really want to go with Aubameyang, but I feel like I'll just end up with Kane.
I feel like you always say you're going to do something really cool and ballsy, and then you backtrack like right before the dedeadline, and it just works out for you though. Like,
yeah, he never does.
Like if you actually did the cool ballsy things, you'd be in the mid table right now. So I guess you're whatever you say in the episode versus
do the exact opposite.
Decide right before the deadline is you're always right. Is fucking.
Or he'd be like 5th overall.
like I don't check your team either or anything, and like I watch the games and I'm like, oh shit, I remember what C4 said in the podcast. He's probably doing terrible. And then I pull up your team and you didn't do it, and I'm like, fuck. My captain pick for this week depends on the transfer I make, because if I do bring in KDB or a Son or like one of those high profile players, it could be one of them. But right now I have Mane and Salah on the team together. I captained Salah last week, so I might captain Mane this week.
Against Man City?
Yep. They have been, I know.
You're thinking the same thing I am.
Yeah. I knew it was Man City, but they haven't looked the same defensively. What was the scoreline they had? Hold on.
I think Thomas suffering for not wanting to pick a Spurs player this season.
I haven't had a Spurs player in my team for a single game week. Like when I play fantasy NFL football, I don't have Cowboys players. Like it's just these are just biased things I do, and I would rather lose than win with a Spurs player, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
No.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense for you.
No, but didn't City have that crazy scoreline like a couple weeks ago? Shit, I'm bugging. I don't know. You know what it is? It's getting colder now. The sun, the daylight savings is gone. The election, I don't know what's going on.
Here goes the sun.
Nah, but you know what? I'm sticking with my Mane pick. You'll see. You'll all see.
As a captain?
Yes.
I thought you were kidding.
Nope. You'll see.
Okay, guys. So we're looking for a new host.
Dude, he's definitely gonna outscore us this week too. After we talk all this shit.
Differentials, baby.
That's why I'm reluctant to say anything.
Yeah, I know it's a ballsy pick. If I had to actually be serious, if I do bring in Son, I feel good about Son this week. If I had Kane, I would feel good about Kane. I don't feel good about any Chelsea assets. So I want to show the size of my balls and go with Mane, but I might pussy out and go with Son or something.
He said balls.
All right, so that's it, right? For this week, we got any other topics? This is a long episode. We're over an hour now. We haven't had a. I don't think we've been over an hour since one of the preseason episodes.
If you're listening to this episode still, send us the code Fargenschnackle and you'll get a lot of props. I mean, we'll like you a lot, and we'll probably like you next tweet. So you're welcome.
Oh, jeez, man. I don't even know how to respond to that. What did you say? Fargen? Is that a real word?
Fargenschnackle. It's when someone makes something up on the spot and they don't know what to say.
All right, yeah, I think it's a good time to cut the episode. So
probably about 20 seconds ago.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FPL Hotline. And I wanted to do a quick update on the FPL Hotline League. Shout out to let's just do the top 5 places right now. In first place, we have 2 girls, 1 Klopp. Second place, Grealish FC. Third place, Werner Bros. Fourth place, C4 United. And fifth place, FPL WAG. That was that. If you're listening, FPL WAG. She's the one who tweeted at. Was it Gash or C4? She gave one of you guys attitude. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I told
it
her
was deserved.
I said I would smack her over the head for picking Pepe or something.
Yeah, so you deserve that attitude. That you
no, but I was right. I mean, Pepe, come on, she dumped him weeks ago.
But she's in 5th place, and you are in. Where are you again? Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for her. That's exactly where I want her.
48. All right, so yeah, shout out to those top 5 places. You have more things to say? Or should we just?
No, I was just going to say 48th is where I'm my strongest. So
okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in this week. Gashler, 40th place. Remember that. And peace out, everybody. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FPL Hotline. And good luck this week. Peace.
See you guys.
Good luck.